Hey everybody, I thought I'd make a video on soldering today. You see some pretty ordinary solder jobs in RC car racing. So I thought I'd do a quick video just how I solder and what I use and what you should be doing when you're soldering. Okay, here's the soldering iron we use. It's a Heiko soldering iron. We used to use it when we used to run the slot cars. They heat up pretty quick. I think it's about a couple $100, but they're a really good soldering iron. So that's the iron we use. Solder, that's the solder we use. Just a 60-40 tin to lead mixture. Just go to J-Car or places like that. Just get some 60-40 solder. That's what we use for that. Okay, now when you're prepping for doing a joint, you want a good pair of side cutters. Get your wire nice clean cut, so it's perfect. You want a good pair of side cutters, and then you want a good set of wire strippers like these ones. These are really old. These are old as, but you can get them from J-Car and all that as well. Just put your wire in. Strip your wire. Now you need to tin it because it's fresh wire. You need to give it a good tin. Make sure it's tinned really well, and then you got to make sure your iron's clean. So you can see the iron's got a bit of crap on it, a bit of old solder. So if you use a sponge on your soldering iron, you can wipe the end of it, get all the old solder off. Sort of re-tin the end of it, and then sit your wire there and give this a tin. Now you don't want to add a lot of heat to the actual, you want to add a lot of heat, but just to the end of it, and only for a short amount of time. So get your soldering iron, add the heat. Don't worry if it doesn't melt in straight away. Just add the heat. Right, get a big blob there. It's a lot easier. If you got 4 hands, it's a lot easier, but just have the solder there and just add to it, so you're not sitting the iron on it constantly. So leave a big blob like that. I don't know how well you can see it, but leave a big blob like that. Let's tin that. Tin the plug here. Have it. And another thing, if you can get a stand, Addie's got this stand. It's really good for doing this sort of thing, just to hold your plugs. Give it a good tin. Make sure it's sort of loaded up. Now, in a perfect world, like I said, I would solder like this, and so I'd get Addie to hold the wire or someone to hold the wire, and then you can get a spot on joint. But you still do it without it. It becomes a little bit trickier. So make sure everything's tinned. Make sure you got a bit of solder on it. Hold the wire. Now make sure if you're putting on a speedo, make sure you put the heat shrink on, obviously, before you do this. Plenty of heat. Just let it melt down. Let it go off. If it's getting hot, just obviously grab it with a rag. And that's it. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a spot on joint. So yeah, don't be scared to solder. It's a skill that I've learnt just over soldering a lot of things over a few years, over a long time. It's experience, but you can wreck things very easy, like speedies and that put a lot of heat into them, but you don't want to. But yeah, don't be scared. Even if you get some bits of wire and an old speedo and practice on some joints, you know what I mean? You can't destroy it. Well, it doesn't matter if you destroy it, it's an old one anyway, but you know what I mean. Do some practice and yeah, enjoy your soldering. I thought I'd do a little video. It might help a few people. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.